I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney.
Wait, hold on. Why would you get banned from Disney?
Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there, or else it's very uncomfortable.
Oh, so you're gonna get banned because you're at Disney around kids and you're talking about your genitals in a way that's catered towards kids? Yeah, I think you might deserve more than just a ban.
So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed. Oh, go. What's up? My mom's here, by the way. The marshmallow tunnel.
So you were saying all that, talking about your genitals in front of your mom. You know what? I'm not even surprised. I mean, if you'll do it in front of kids, why not in front of your mom or your dad or whatever? But I just have a small question. Why Disney? I mean, I'm sure you have other trans friends who would have loved to hear about your transition journey. You know, there's also your doctor. I'm sure there are plenty trans help groups and communities out there. Shoot, you could have even started a podcast if you wanted to. I'm not even saying that you have to talk about this in the comfort of your own home. You can talk about it in public, but Disney though, it gets to a point. And I hope no one comes in my comments trying to say that I'm being biased or trying to spew hate. If anything, I'm treating the trans community like everybody else. Because being trans doesn't excuse unacceptable behavior. I think you and I would be, or at least should be, just as outraged if a cisgendered male was at Disney talking about the birds and the bees in front of kids. And if you don't know what cisgendered male means, it's a man whose gender identity matches with the sex they were assigned at birth. Now, before I dive into this video, I do want to say that my intention is not to attack any community. I'm just giving my opinion on things that have been happening around the trans community that for the most part might affect all of us. And all the topics that I'm gonna cover in this video, members of the LGBTQ+ community have already expressed their outrage on. If anything, I'm just echoing their voices in this video. I'm basically saying don't be trying to cancel me. But now let's get into the video. That person you saw in the first clip is Lily Contino, a trans woman that's been going viral all over the internet for basically being insufferable. Her content revolves around her filming her day-to-day life, for example, going to restaurants, and one thing she constantly does is give restaurant staff, especially servers, a really hard time. Her interactions with them usually look something like this.
Like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir.
Oh,
Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart.
okay.
Okay. The
So
Sweetwater
that's
starts at
yes,
okay.
sir.
Not.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens.
Just off these few clips that we've seen so far, I want to make a couple points. First of all, just listening to a lot of the servers in these clips, I can tell that English isn't their first language. And if you have immigrant parents like myself who speak broken English, you know that pronouns can sometimes be the hardest thing for them to get down. So as a member of another marginalized group, how about showing these people some grace? Second of all, especially depending on where you live, I don't think it's super common to run into trans people, especially ones that fit Lily's archetype. So if your server isn't used to interacting with trans people and calling them by the pronouns that they desire to be called by, just gently keep correcting them. Reporting them to the manager and possibly causing them to lose their job, now you're just abusing your power. And I am going based off assumption here, but those people were probably immigrants. And if they are, I really want to say that it sucks to see someone from a marginalized group treating another person from a marginalized group like that. In honest opinion, I truly don't think any of these servers are getting Lily's pronouns wrong on purpose. And let's just use our thinking cap here for a second. These people are servers. That means that a large percent of their income comes from tips. And I think it's common sense that a happy customer would tip more. So logically speaking, I don't see any reason for them to try to intentionally make Lily angry. A big part of their income and livelihood literally depends on how happy and satisfied their customers are. But let's watch the rest of the interactions she has at these restaurants.
I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Called me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more, though, and it's not intentional, because it means like this is sir to him.
What Lily doesn't realize is that interacting with trans people, especially if it's your first couple of times, isn't the easiest thing to do. For example, if they're not vocal about their pronouns from the jump, you're kind of stuck there thinking like, okay, do I call you a he or a she? I don't want to offend this person. Do you want to be treated like one of the guys, or do you expect us to show the same courtesy we show to cisgendered women? It's just a lot of gray area. And then even when they are vocal about their pronouns, transgender women, especially ones who haven't finished transitioning, still tend to have a bunch of masculine features. Brief intermission, I'm trying to get to 100k subs, so I'd appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe on this channel and on my reaction channel, 4D Shams Live. Also join my Discord and follow me on Instagram. Love y'all. Like at this point, it isn't even me trying to be disrespectful. It's literally just my brain operating off of pattern recognition. And you know what's the craziest thing out of all of this? After making all this rage bait content of her acting insufferable towards people who accidentally misgendered her, she goes and does this.
I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans.
And for anyone who's unfamiliar, Kurt Cobain was the guitarist for popular band Nirvana. Keep in mind, he died about 30 years ago. So Lily's talking about the gender identity of a man who died 30 years ago, who wouldn't even be able to clear up any misconceptions that Lily says, because he's dead. The man died at the age of 27. Stop trying to piece together clues and just let him rest. And I'm not the only one outraged by Lily's actions. Members of her own community are also calling her out.
I have a master's degree in gender and sexuality, psychology and sociology, so I do feel like I am qualified to talk on the matter, but also as a fan of Nirvana. So obviously Kurt isn't here to defend himself, but what we do have is what his loved ones say about him, right? And I think that is the best bet from the people closest to him to then talk about him. Frances Bean Cobain, his daughter, will still refer to her dad with he, him pronouns. And I think that honestly says a lot so far. But if we look at one of his closest friends, Dave Grohl, who everyone knows and loves, nicest man in rock and roll, very respectful man, and he does talk a lot about Kurt, obviously, because Kurt was a big part of his life, and one of his closest friends. Now, Dave Grohl has always been nothing but respectful for literally everyone ever. He's like so lovely, and he will refer to Kurt with he, him pronouns. As outsiders, we shouldn't assume someone is trans or cis or whatever, but the people closest to him refer to him as he, him pronouns. So it is safe to say that Kurt Cobain probably used he, him pronouns. It's safe to assume that Kurt Cobain was not a trans person.
And even in the midst of her community giving her heat and letting her know just how disrespectful what she did was, her reply was to go ahead and double down on her opinion.
People are very upset about the Kurt Cobain video. I know. I stand by the video. I made it because it is something that I was thinking about a lot. So a lot of the criticism is that, oh, Kurt Cobain is disrespectful, right? There's nothing disrespectful about it.
It's disrespectful because this man had a life, he has a legacy, and now you are trying to change that legacy and change the way people view him because you want him to be a part of your cause.
Also, nothing bad about assuming people are trans. There's really...
Oh, so when those servers accidentally assume that you're a cisgender male, you want to tell the manager and get them disciplined and possibly cause them to lose their job? But when you assume someone's gender, it's okay? I don't think I've ever seen hypocrisy at this level. Another really alarming issue that Lily has is that she targets children. And trust me when I say I'm very conscious and aware of the way I worded that statement. And if that Disney clip at the beginning of the video wasn't enough, Lily also makes content like this.
Hey friends, today we're talking about something super cool called pronouns. Pronouns are little words that help us talk about each other.
And if you're unaware or you didn't catch on, Lily is mimicking a creator by the name of Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel is dearly loved by children and parents because she makes content educating kids.
Hi friends! I'm so excited to learn preschool skills with you today. We're going to learn shapes, colors, numbers, letters,
As you can see, Miss Rachel makes content for a really young audience, definitely younger than 13. And although Miss Rachel does have a TikTok, the TikTok that she has is meant for the parents. She might advertise a new video on her YouTube, react to videos that were taken by parents meant for her, and give amazing parenting tips. But do you know why she doesn't post her main content on TikTok? It's because the minimum age to use TikTok is 13. So it doesn't make any sense for her to post her content that's meant for really young kids on TikTok. And see, that really got me thinking, why is Lily mimicking the content format of videos made for young kids?
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
Because trust me, no regular kid 13 and up wants you to talk to them like this.
Pronouns are little words that help us talk about each other. We all have pronouns. Some people use he and him.
Could this be an excuse for Lily to get dressed up and use these mannerisms that are meant for children? Because it makes sense for Miss Rachel to dress up like a little girl, use those childish mannerisms, because she's dealing with kids. But what excuse does Lily have for doing that on a platform that doesn't even allow really young kids? Is she dressing up and acting like that for shits and giggles, or is there a deeper meaning? And just wait, because it gets crazier. So Lily has an old account, and you know that same TikTok account where she posts those videos meant for a younger audience? Yeah, so she advertises her OnlyFans on there as well. So imagine some kids scrolling on TikTok and they find that video of Lily, you know, talking about pronouns, and they think, oh, okay, so cool, you're such a cool role model. And then boom, they go on her page, scroll one more time, and then they see this, or this, or this. And trust me, no, these aren't just some random cosplay. These are cosplay that are commonly used by OF models. And something that other creators and I noticed is, if she doesn't have a really young audience or even have access to one, why does she talk using these euphemisms? Instead of saying your marshmallow or donut, how about using the scientific term and just saying penis?
Now that my cake pops are gone, a lot of people have been asking if I'm going to use the cake pop stick and turn it into a donut.
It's basically they're trying to describe gender reassignment surgery like they're talking to a 5-year-old. Why are we making content gravitated towards children? First of all, that's predatory. Like, leave the kids alone. They're sitting there playing with Barbies and trucks. What do they care if you want to turn your Audi into an innie? Like, that stuff should be left for the privacy of your own home. Because frankly, I really don't care either to have to watch that stuff. So I can only imagine if children saw such a video like that.
And I know I spent a big portion of this video talking about Lily Contino, but there's another issue that urgently needs to be addressed. And look, I'm not blaming the entirety of the LGBTQ community. I'm just blaming a portion of the trans community. So recently, a portion of the trans community, along with some trans allies, have been pushing for this movement that exposes kids to an inappropriate level of sex education way too early on.
They're not pornography at all. An age-appropriate, well-researched means for kids to understand themselves and their bodies.
The books in question, Here and Queer. It's not historic, it's perfectly normal. This book is gay, you know, sex, and all boys aren't blue.
I wish I had these books 40 years ago.
And as you're about to see in a couple of seconds, these books are extremely explicit. I feel like even most adults would be too shy to read these type of books amongst themselves. And they're pushing for these books to be in elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools.
He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom.
Yep, that's real.
A good handy is all about the wrist action. Rub the head of his back and forth with your hand.
Yeah, that's all in here too.
After a bit, a person's becomes moist and slippery.
And sadly, this is real too, including multiple different positions.
Go have a fork and play with it. Slip a finger between it and the glands. Maybe not this.
Okay. Apply broad pressure to the outside of the entrance. Circle your butt. Okay, no, kids maybe should not be reading this.
Towards the end of the book, that's where shit hits the fan. I mean, we're talking about how app works, how to download it, what people use it for, the pros of getting a app. Because why are we teaching middle schoolers and high schoolers how to use Grindr when we know that Grindr is infamously known for the predatory behavior that's on the app?
The FBI says these recent arrests happened when the suspects were surfing on the website Grindr.
Collier County man is in jail after deputies say he assaulted a teenager he met on an app called Grindr.
First of all, I want to mention Amir Adam because he did review those books and those clips are from his channel. And now for my opinion, I completely disagree with having these types of books in schools. Certain conversations are just way too intimate to be having with anyone besides your parents or your guardians. And the thing is, a lot of the same people who are pushing for these books to be in these schools are also pushing for the empowerment of kids who aren't even teenagers yet to be able to make the permanent and life-changing decision of transitioning. And I know someone's gonna come and mention detransitioning, and yes, I know it's possible, but you still won't be the same person that you were before you transition. And again, I'm not the only one who feels this way. We literally have trans people who are speaking up and fighting back against this.
When a kid tells you that they're transgender, believe them. A lot of people will say that it's impossible for a 4-year-old.
Why is it always people that don't have kids that are speaking for children? I'm trans and I've been a stepmother for the last 2 years. He's 5 now and has no idea that I'm transgender. He's not ready for that conversation, and we don't plan to tell him for a very long time until he's old enough to understand. 5-year-olds believe Santa Claus exists. And the fact you can sit there and tell me a 3, 4, 5-year-old is mentally competent enough to transition is fucking insane and borderline predatory. I'm thankful I waited until I was an adult, because as a child, I would not have been mentally ready for how serious a transition is. What baffles me is that these radicals think that transitions are so normal and not a big deal. My stepson, for example, loves pink and loves Barbies. And trust me, I'm all for breaking gender norms, but none of that means that he's trans. These people think children must medically transition to be validated, but they want grown men to be validated even without a transition whatsoever. Wild. It's not safe or morally ethical to allow children to transition. Let kids be kids.
With that being said, YouTube, this video was strictly for educational purposes. I didn't mean to attack anybody. If anything, I just wanted to give constructive criticism. Hopefully I don't get canceled. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for me. And if you want to join the 4D fam and be a part of 4D World, go ahead and join my Discord channel. And if you didn't know, your boy definitely knows how to put that shit on, so go ahead and follow my Instagram. I'm gonna be dropping heat on there very soon. All links are in the description below. Again, I appreciate y'all for watching, and yo gang, can you like subscribe to my reaction channel? 4D Shans Live. I know I already said it, but like, come on gang, come on, do me a favor. Hey, yo, I appreciate you. Hey, but not for real though, keep turning me up, bruh. 4D Shams, 4D World. I'm out. Love y'all.